Odyssey, Book 4, concluded. Lines 1072 to the end. Penelope falls asleep and dreams, while the suitors lie in wait for Telemachus' return. And that return does not occur for several more books. When at rest, Pallas her favours varied, when addressed an idol, that Iphthyma did present in structure of her every lineament, great souled Icarius' daughter, whom for spouse Eumelus took, that kept in Pheris' house, this to divine Ulysses' house she sent, to try her best mean how she might content mournful Penelope, and make relent the strict addiction in her to deplore. This idol, like a worm that less or more contracts or strains her, did itself convey, beyond the wards or windings of the key, into the chamber, and above her head her seat assuming. Thus she comforted distressed Penelope. Doth sleep thus seize thy powers, affected with so much disease? The gods, that nothing troubles, will not see thy tears nor griefs in any least degree, sustained with cause, for they will guard thy son, safe to his wished and native mansion. Since he is no offender of their states, and they to such are firmer than their fates. The wise Penelope received her thus, bound with a slumber most delicious. And in the port of dreams, O sister, why repair you hither, since so far off lie your house and household? You were never here before this hour, and would you now give cheer to my so many woes and miseries, affecting fitly all the faculties my soul and mind hold, having lost before a husband that of all the virtues bore the palm among the Greeks, and whose renown so ample was that fate the sound hath blown through Greece and Argos to her very heart. And now again a son that did convert my whole powers to his love by ship is gone, a tender plant that yet was never grown to labor's taste, nor the commerce of men. For whom more than my husband I complain, and lest he should at any sufferance touch, or in the sea, or by the men so much estranged to him that must his consorts be. Fear and chill trembling shake each joint of me. Besides, his danger sets on foes professed to waylay his return, that have addressed plots for his death. The scarce discerned dream said, Be of comfort, nor fears so extreme let thus dismay thee. Thou hast such a maid attending thee as some at any rate would wish to purchase, for her power is great. Minerva pities thy delight's defeat, whose grace hath sent me to foretell these. If thou, said she, be of the goddesses, and heardst her tell thee these, thou may as well from her tell all things else. Deign then to tell, if yet the man to all misfortunes born, my husband lives, and sees the sun adorn the darksome earth, or hides his wretched head in Pluto's house, and lives among the dead. I will not, she replied, my breath exhale in one continued and perpetual tale. Lives he or dies he? 'Tis a filthy use, to be in vain and idle speech profuse. This said, she, through the keyhole of the door, vanished again into the open blore. Icarius' daughter started from her sleep, and joy's fresh humour her loved breast did steep. When now so clear in that first watch of night, she saw the seen dream vanish from her sight, the wooer's ship the sea's moist waves did ply, and thought the prince a haughty death should die. There lies a certain island in the sea, twixt rocky Samos and rough Ithaca. That cliffy is itself, and nothing great. It holds convenient havens that two ways let ships in and out, called Asteris, and there the wooers hoped to make their massacre. So that concludes April 2026 National Poetry Month's readings, Odysseys, Book 1 through Book 4. I hope it was of some interest to you to hear George Chapman's translation of the poem. It's the first complete translation in English of the Odyssey. He was a contemporary of Shakespeare. And there are times when I think his poetry really soars. At other times, I think it's a little clunky, but it was still an amazing undertaking for Chapman to do. And that translation has, I think, stood the test of time, though, of course, more contemporary translations like Emily Wilson's or Robert Fagel's or Robert Fitzgerald's, those, of course, are much more accessible to us. So, remember, National Poetry Month, try to read a poem every day.